The first collaborative tool I'd like to introduce is an interactive whiteboard called Scribblar. It can be found at scribblar.com. To begin, there are a few different plans to choose from. All of the plans allow access to the same tools and collaborative features. The difference in pricing is due to the number of students allowed in each room and the number of rooms the teacher can have open. The most expensive plan allows for Scribblar to be embedded into a learning management system or another website. Scribblar is a very user-friendly and easy-to-navigate program. First, the teacher needs to provide an email address and create a username and password. Once an account is created, the teacher can then create a room, give it a name, and select whether or not the participants will have access to the video and microphone capabilities, chat box, or whiteboard tools. Once the room is created, the teacher can invite students to join by providing their email addresses. The students do not need to be registered. Once the students receive the invitation through their email, they can click on the link to the room. One important feature offered allows the final document from the interactive session to be exported as a PDF for students to refer to after the room is closed. While the room is in session, participants have the ability to upload files such as images, PDFs, PowerPoint presentations, or other Microsoft Office documents. The uploaded shared files can then be downloaded by other participants. Another important element, especially for an online classroom, is that the teacher can view the chat logs from the session at a later time. This will help keep track of student participation and allow the teacher to closely monitor and review what students are discussing in the live chat. Aside from the special features mentioned, Scribblar's main function is to act as an interactive whiteboard. Some of the tools available are an equation editor, Wolfram Alpha support tool, ability to screen capture, and the basic buttons to draw lines and shapes, write with a pen, type text, and highlight. The background of the document can also be changed to different sized graph paper, lined paper, or a solid color. This is what a room looks like when a teacher creates a session for the students to join. First thing that I can do here is go over to Assets, and I can upload a new file. I can go in to my documents and browse anything that I want to upload. I have options here. I can allow the users to download this file, or I can unselect that so that they can't download it. So I now have my PowerPoint uploaded into the whiteboard for all students to see. If I go over to the right hand side of my screen, this is where all of the participants would be listed, and right down here is the chat box. Students have the opportunity to change the color that their name appears when they're chatting. Another option that they have is when they're in the room, when their name shows up, there's an option for them to raise their hand. As you can see here also, I have the ability to, this one in the middle is to chat, this one on the right hand side is my audio capabilities, and the one on the left hand side gives me the ability to use the tools on the screen. So I have all of those capabilities available right now. If I were to go through and look at my PowerPoint and do any of these slides or instruct my students through this, I could actually go through and solve word problems here. So this is about the Pythagorean theorem. So I could come over to my tools and I could draw a right triangle and explain to my students this word problem and label my triangle the way that I need to. So the one side is 100 yards, the other side is 50 yards, and then I could walk my students through the steps in order to solve this problem. I could go up to my function tool, go over to Math, and I can actually type in an equation. So the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And I could add this to my document, so that way the students have this in their notes as well. And then I can use the pen tool to fill in my known whatever A is. I'm not sure why that's not working. We can call that A, that B, and this is C. And then I could walk through and solve the Pythagorean theorem with my students. After I'm finished the session, they could then download this, export it to a PDF file, and have it for later use. Scribblar is predominantly a synchronous tool. It involves live chat, students' ability to raise their hand if they want to participate, audio conferencing, and the interactive whiteboard. So everything that happens with Scribblar is live in real time. As far as the asynchronous tools, the only thing available is for the paid accounts, which allows you to revisit the rooms even after a session is closed. This is not available, though, when you have the free account. Some of the collaborative outcomes possible with Scribblar are shared resources, with students being able to upload and download different documents. There's problem solving. They can walk their way through a problem, talk themselves through it, explain it, and discuss it with their students through the live chat, the audio conferencing, and showing their work on the whiteboard. And students are also able to demonstrate mastery by creating an online slideshow themselves, or creating a document or presentation, and including any audio behind that as well. The main elements of social presence that Scribblar supports is the interaction intensity. Since it is a synchronous tool, students are expected to contribute and participate throughout the session as the teacher expects, and also instructor involvement. A lot of this can be used to explain and model different problems for the students to be working on, and it also allows the teacher to give immediate feedback when the students are working through a problem themselves. Previously, I showed you how I would use Scribblar in an Algebra 1 classroom, but just to go over that one more time, I would make sure that to begin my session, I would walk through some steps with students. Whatever skill we were working on, I would explain the steps through the microphone and also show them on the whiteboard. I would then include any resources they could benefit from, either upload them or provide a link for them to click on for any extra resources or supplemental documents that would help them. I would also then, after I gave my instruction, allow for the students to discuss any problems or questions they may have, and an opportunity to try a problem on their own and then share with their classmates their steps. Currently, I teach in an Algebra 1 classroom, and regular whiteboards really engage the students, so I would make use and give the students an opportunity often to be showing their work and using the tools themselves instead of just watching me. I would also create different rooms and allow students to do group work and develop final products in their groups. And finally, I would use this tool to make sure I gave immediate feedback on the steps the students were completing, correct them if they made any mistakes, or talk them through and guide them so that they could discover the mistakes on their own.